outside of the frame itself, probably the most important part on your bike when it comes to increasing ride quality is the tires that you put on. Tires are a wear item, and often we see people coming in with tires that are worn out, which is going to really negatively impact their ride quality. So how do you know when it's time for a tire replacement? There's a few key indicators that we look out for here at the shop. The first is a worn center line. Every single tire, as you ride, will lose some of its rubber on the road or riding surface. Gradually, the center line of the tire will wear down, resulting in a flatter surface with more contact on the road, which is going to lead to more friction and slow you down. As you can see here on this tire, the center line has been completely worn away, removing all knobs that were present on the tire. Now this tire is meant for off-road use, and so now we've lost all of our grip. The same principle applies to slick tires or road tires as well though. A flatter surface will increase rolling resistance and slow you down. The second thing that we check for here in the shop is any cracking in the top or side wall of the tire. These cracks represent weak points in the tire and make punctures more likely along these cracks. In extreme cases, your tube can actually protrude out from the cracks, exposing it to the elements and causing flats repeatedly. The third main indicator that it's time to change a tire is when you can see threads protruding through the sidewall. Every tire is made of an interwoven pattern of threads covered in rubber. As the rubber breaks down over time, the threads start to become exposed on the sidewalls. When you can see these coming through, it means the sidewall casing is getting quite thin, which again puts you at a higher risk of flats and punctures. So now we realize that it's time to change our tires. So what tires are we going to choose? There are lots of options on the market, and the first main consideration is going to be what style of riding you're doing. The tire's tread is the collection of knobs on the top and sides of the tire that can aid in traction when riding through dirt, mud, or other off-road surfaces. However, the more tread on a tire, the slower it's going to roll, especially on pavement. When choosing a tire, think about what style of riding you like to do. If you're mostly riding on gravel paths, a tire with more tread might be the appropriate choice. But if you're always on the road on your way to work, you might want to choose something that is a little slicker. Much like tread, another thing that you want to consider is the size of the tire that you choose. A larger tire will tend to have more grip and more comfort, whereas a thinner tire will tend to roll a little bit faster. If you're riding a road bike and gunning for speed, you're going to want to choose a thinner tire, whereas if you're commuting to work over potholes, you might want to go with something a little thicker. For commuters, a larger tire can make the road a little more forgiving. It can soak up some of those potholes and speed bumps that you might find on your way to work. A larger tire can be run at a lower PSI for increased comfort and control. However, you always want to make sure that you stick between the manufacturer's recommended PSI ratings. If you run a tire at too low pressure, you can cause pinch flats. For road cyclists, much of the same principles apply. It used to be that a 23C tire was the only choice for a road cyclist. However, the trend in the industry has been going to slightly larger tires, something like a 28C. A slightly larger tire will result in more grip while cornering, as well as more comfort throughout a race or a ride. The ability to take corners faster and be a bit more comfortable on the bike has actually been found to increase an athlete's performance and result in faster times. Once you've settled on a size and tread pattern that you might like for your bicycle, there will probably be a lot of options on the market. When considering tires, a higher-end tire will often have a few extra features. For commuters, this could be things like puncture resistance, reflective sidewalls for increased visibility, or rain channels, which can help siphon water out from under the tire and give you more grip on the road. For road tires, one big advantage of going to a higher quality tire is going to be a higher TPI. TPI stands for threads per inch, and that's the metal fibers that they use to weave together the tire under the casing of rubber. The more that they use, the thinner they can be, resulting in a lighter tire with a more supple casing, which is going to give you a much better ride feel. If you have any more questions, or you want some help picking out the right tires for your ride, live chat with us, or give us a call in store. We're more than happy to help.